Children and Santa Claus. Hello, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist. And I have an 8-year-old and I take her every year to go see Santa Claus because, well, Santa Claus is fun. I never told her that Santa Claus was real. I never told her that she had to be good, otherwise Santa Claus wouldn't bring her any gifts. And I certainly didn't tell her that if she was bad, she'd get a lump of coal or some other nonsense. And she's finally getting to that age where she's beginning to realize the whole Santa Claus thing may not be exactly what it appears to be. Yesterday when I took her to see Santa Claus this year, she pointed out to me that every time we go see Santa Claus, he looks different. And I just kind of smiled and said, "Why do you think that is?" Well, she had a bunch of ideas, helpers, and he's older, her memories fail, she was trying to think it through. And that's what I was encouraging her to do, was think it through. Because that's what I want her to do. Now, this particular Santa Claus was at a church, a Catholic church, and I've mentioned the Catholic church before. And it's kind of funny that they have Santa Claus there because Santa Claus has nothing to do with religion. It has to do more with paganism. And of course, they have the Christmas trees, which again are pagan. And I love that fact. I love pointing out that these are pagan symbols that have been adopted by the church in order to encourage the kids to be involved. Because if there was just a cross or whatever, they're going to have there for the birth, the manger, kids don't really get into the manger. The manger's like, yeah, there's a baby and some weird animals and stuff, and they don't really care. They want to see Santa Claus. Santa Claus is the hook. And my daughter's getting to that age where she realizes that Santa Claus may not be real. I'm never told her Santa Claus was real, and I'm certainly not going to tell her that Santa Claus isn't real. I want her to figure that out for herself. Because I figured it out for myself, and at the same time I figured out that God was probably not real either. Kids believe what you tell them. And I try not to tell my daughter things that are not true. And perhaps I go a little bit too far in being honest with her. When she asks me why I'm an atheist, I don't beat around the bush. I tell her why. I tell her because I don't think there's a reason to believe that there is a God that exists. And of course she tells me, "But Mommy says there's a God." And I say, yes, I know she does. And that's how I leave it. Because I don't want my daughter to have a conflict between me and her mother. I don't want my daughter to decide between one or the other. I want my daughter to decide for herself. Because to me, that's what's important. I don't want to raise my daughter to be an atheist, but I trust, I hope, I assume that she'll be an atheist because what I am teaching her are thinking skills, questioning skills, being critical about the information that she is given. Don't accept things on faith, are things that I continually tell her. Now, while we're on things like that, she's also, as I've mentioned, going to Catholic school. And this is something her mother wants, and I want her to be educated. I've told my daughter, and I ask her what she's taught in the class, I've told her, if anyone ever tells you that hell is real, you tell me, and I will set them straight. Because hell is the one thing I do tell her is not real. I think telling a child that hell is real is child abuse. Hell is the one thing that I draw the line and say, no, this is not information you are going to spread freely. But Santa Claus is fun. Santa Claus is silly, and Santa Claus is tradition. Once we grow out of believing in Santa Claus, we still like Santa Claus. Well, some of us do. And unlike clowns, which are creepy when you're little and they get even more creepier when you're older. But that's a whole nother story. Anyways, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and Santa Claus, good thing, bad thing? I think it's a good thing. But don't tell your kids Santa Claus is real, and don't threaten your children with Santa Claus isn't going to bring you anything if you don't behave.